All right, so today we are going to be doing a crash course on university ethical AI policies. So what that means is different universities have different policies on what the allowable use of AI looks like when you are using AI in your college application to apply to that university. So today we'll check out a couple different universities and what they have to say. All right, so I looked over the top 100 universities and looked for ethical AI policies. In fact, I've been tracking these since about mid-2023. And so every single one of them falls into one of three buckets. Now, most of them, like an overwhelming majority of them, literally all of them except two universities, their policies fall into this first bucket, which is called use AI like a trusted adult. So what does that mean? Well, before AI was a thing, the only way that you could be able to get some brainstorming help or feedback help on an essay draft would be go to a trusted adult in your life. And so you might go to a college counselor, you could go to a teacher, a parent, maybe a private consultant, and they would help you out with your essay. Now, what do we mean help you out? Well, what they would do is they'd say, well, this hook could be better, or this anecdote could be shorter. This conclusion is a little bit weak. We need to tie back. These are the types of feedback that they would give you. But what they wouldn't do is say, move over, I'm going to rewrite your introductory paragraph because I can write it better. And so in a similar manner, that's how you want to be using AI, like how you would use a trusted adult. You don't want AI to be writing any part of your essay. You want it to just be helping you brainstorm or help you give feedback. But no AI written content should make it to the final version of your essay. That should never, ever happen. And so universities that fall into this first bucket is like the Common App, Caltech, University of California's, and things like that. Now, there are two universities that don't fall into this bucket in the top 100. There's Brown University, and they say the limit of what you can do for AI is just proofreading. And then there's also Villanova, which says you can't use AI at all. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of these policies so you can get a better understanding of what the actual language is in there. So the Common App, their only reference to AI is that fraud is submitting the substantive content or output of an AI platform. And so that aligns with this trusted adult bucket. And by the way, the three ones we're going to look on this slide all fall into the trusted adult bucket. So in that sense, you can use it for brainstorming, you can use it for feedback, but you can't use it to actually write anything for you. Now, for Caltech, very, very similar. In fact, they hit it on the nose. They say, ask yourself whether it would be ethical to have a trusted adult perform the same task you're asking of AI. And then finally, if we look at the UCs, so that's like UCLA, UC Berkeley, they say you can receive advice on content and editing from AI, but anything that is final and written text has to be your own. And so exactly the same way, use it like a trusted adult. Brainstorming is okay, feedback is okay, writing is not. Now, I will say of note, since I told you I've been monitoring these policies since mid-2023, the two universities that fall outside of this bucket are actually gradually shifting towards the trusted adult bucket anyway. And so if we look at Brown, in 2023, they actually fell into the no AI at all bucket. They were with Villanova. But 2024, they've updated their policy to now say, well, you can use it for spelling and grammar review. And so ultimately, this trusted adult bucket is where I suspect the majority of university policies are going to end up in if they aren't there already. But as we know, the majority of them are already in that bucket to begin with. And by the way, that's also how we built this Athena platform in the first place, is to be compliant with this idea of using it like a trusted adult. And so you can get help on brainstorming, get help on feedback, and also get a grade on your essay. But other than that, we don't do any writing for you. And so just be careful. If you're using any AI platforms out there, including ChatGPT or something else, just make sure they're not doing any writing for you whatsoever. And now the last question that I want to address is whether universities use AI detectors, because that's a question that I get asked a lot by students. And I just want to say it's the wrong question to be asking in the first place. As we've already covered, you don't want to be using AI to write any part of your essay. Aside from it not being compliant with university policies, we've already explained in prior modules that it also does a disservice because AI sucks at giving you an authentic voice. But what I will say for transparency's sake is generally universities do not use AI detectors because they have a high false positive rate. And so it's not entirely accurate. But either way, again, you don't want to be caught in the midst of this potential battle between AI detectors and AI platforms and who knows who's going to win. You don't want to get caught in that battle, so just don't do it in the first place. But now you know a little bit more about AI policies, so make sure you're following the guidelines as appropriate, and good luck this cycle.